Welcome to Please Me, the award-winning bilingual podcast bringing you bold conversations and big clit energy. Sí, Please Me se puede ver con subtítulos en español. I'm Eve, your host, on a journey from trauma to sexual liberation. Join me and my guests as we dive into conversations around orgasm equality, self-love, body positivity, and essential sexual education. Let's reclaim pleasure and close the orgasm gap, one empowering conversation at a time. If you missed last week's two-part episode with Hanny Cheng, Singapore's leading Tantra and Taoist sensuality coach, you're missing powerful insights on vaginal reflexology, the upward spiral of pleasure, mystery orgasms, and more. Don't miss out. Tune in after this episode to experience her transformative wisdom. Huge thanks to everyone leaving reviews. Please Me continues to rank in the top 10 global sexuality podcasts. Your support means everything. Keep the love coming and keep rating the show, and join us on Patreon for ad-free episodes, bonus content, and early releases. And be sure to sign up for my newsletter on Substack for more Please Me related news. Please Me is for mature audiences. Sit back, relax, and surrender to the pleasure of Please Me.
Similarly, the parts of us that we think are imperfect, they're created by that same divine part that created everything else. And if that's divine, you're coming from that divine part, you're absolutely effing perfect as you are. Even if you feel like you're not perfect, I guarantee you, you are perfect. With all your weaknesses, with all your odd stuff, you are perfect.
ASN Lifestyle Magazine is your go-to source for sex-positive, sophisticated content covering everything from the swinger lifestyle and adult entertainment to intimacy, wellness, and more. You can read every digital issue for free, and subscribers get access to exclusive content. See the show notes for the link to subscribe and check out their Instagram. I'm excited to share that I now have a monthly column in ASN called Big Clit Energy, a Please Me series. Don't miss it and subscribe today.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Grit is in you. It's in your passion, your perseverance. It's in every challenge you face and overcome. Grit is in you. It's never in rockin' protein. Never settle.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Got a car to sell but no time to waste? Hop on to Carvana.com to get a real offer for your car in seconds. All you have to do is enter your license plate, answer a few quick questions, and if you accept the offer, Carvana will pay you as soon as you hand the keys over. They even offer same-day pickup in many cities. Save your time, score some cash, and sell your car the convenient way to Carvana. Pickup times vary. Fees may apply.
Shopping is hard.
I can never find anything in my size.
I don't even know my size.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my groceries.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
Hello and welcome to Please Me, the podcast that aims to destigmatize conversations about sex and sexual health by turning the sheets into our classroom. Today, I am so honored and excited to speak to Kanika Vasudeva, and she is an energy and consciousness coach. She guides people to reconnect with their sacral chakra, and she's so passionate about this and how sexual energy is so much more than physical. It's a life force that fuels our creativity, emotional balance, confidence, and even the courage to birth new projects and ideas into the world. I just love that. I got that from your profile, and I think it's amazing. And I just want to welcome you to the show. Welcome you, Kanika.
Thanks a lot, Eve. I'm so glad to be on the show. And actually, just to talk about sacral chakra, like you said, and just sexual energy, not just from an act perspective, but more as energy, more as a life-giving force, just like you said right now. So I can't wait to be here.
Absolutely. I love this. And I think it's so important for us to think about our bodies as like energy flowing throughout, and it can get blocked, right? And so how do you help people to unblock those blockages in their body, and most particularly in their sacral chakra?
Okay, beautiful. Love the question. When we talk about energy flow, like normally that is the way of life. That is how it is supposed to be. If we look at kids, for example, and this is how flow will look like. Kids know how to smile. Kids know how to laugh. They will have fun with a lot of things. They're very curious. They're very adventurous. They want to explore, right? They have a joy of life, literally. Every single moment, they have a joy of life. Like you take them somewhere, they're just exploring stuff. That's what flow looks like. So first of all, flow was natural to us, is natural to all of us. It is behaviors that we've learned where we start blocking the internal flow. Flow is when you feel happy, when you feel excited about life. That's what flow is. If you're not feeling as happy, or somehow you feel like you've lost that joy, or it's like a little bit of a struggle, it's not flow. And how you would do that is you start bringing the flow back again. And a lot of times what happens is we feel hurt with something. We feel literally blocked even with our emotions, right? And starts blocking. We start collecting the stuff within us. Now, I'll tell you this. Look at any electrical appliance in your house. Let's say a toaster, even something as a fridge, and they all have an earthing wire. The reason they have an earthing wire is because the earth wire takes a negative charge and it can discharge that all the way to the center, or at least to that zero. We walk around, we get hurt sometimes, or sometimes we feel we're not heard or seen. And yet we don't have a place where we discharge our negativity. We just don't know that. We just know, okay, we can talk to someone, but doesn't discharge the stress totally. Like it still stays with me. I haven't let go of the whole thing. So the first way of starting that flow is simply to start connecting with the earth. That's why walking outside feels really good. I have a specific meditation that I walk to with people as well. But in general, the simplest form of it is connect with the earth. Whether you can go out and connect and allow that flow to happen, or you could just imagine that you're connecting right with the center of the earth, because it's just as simple as that, but really potent and powerful.
I love that. Being in nature is really healing in and of itself. There's studies that have been done that show that being in nature can help you with stress and multiple other things. And I know that my happy place is going to the ocean and swimming in the ocean, more particularly swimming naked in the ocean, because when you swim naked in the ocean, it's just so freeing and the sensations are like just so beautiful. So I agree. Nature is so powerful and such a key element to just being connected to yourself as a human being on this planet, right?
Yeah. And I think I love that you said, oh, being in the ocean and just being free with your body as well. I just absolutely love that. Because when we came in, or that joy, try and think of the times of yourself as a kid and what you really loved. And maybe some of the things would have shifted. They would have changed. You're not really playing with rattle toys anymore, for example. But whatever you're playing with, whatever that thing is that gives you joy, get back to that. That's going to be freedom. That's going to be just being who you are, as much, however little steps that you're able to take, but going back to that, allowing yourself that freedom, giving yourself that permission to be happy to feel joyful. For people, it could be painting, it could be going outside, but allowing that place for yourself, giving permission, often even resting. Especially, I realize I didn't answer your question around sacral chakra, really. And if I talk about sacral chakra, so just to explain where the sacral chakra is, just put your hands around your belly button, almost that place, that's your sacral chakra. And sacral chakra is a second chakra. This is the place where we all came into earth. Like when we conceived, you all were in the womb, in our mom's womb. This is where we conceived. This was our place. What was really happening was that we were a soul, and from that soul, we came into a body form. And so as a soul, which has no limits on, let's say, the space, right? Soul it can be anywhere. There's no limit. There's no body shape to it. There's no physical limit to it. And then we enter into the body. This is where we are getting the sacral chakra. So this is why this place is just so amazing, because we think of it as our birthplace, as our womb place. But this is also so amazing because this is the place where we are literally tapping into the life force that we were born with. Like the soul came into the body. So the soul had that life force. Whatever essence that you have, your innate recipe for happiness, your innate recipe for purpose, that all lives here. The more you heal the space, the more you come up with more passion for yourself. Like it's literally all the juice in a seed. When you want to plant a seed, it's all that juice, it's all that goodness, all that comes from the sacral chakra.
And I love thinking about it as the place where you birth ideas and creativity. I love that concept, and it's so true. If you are blocked in that area, you're going to be blocked in your creative flow too. Do you want to just speak on that? Because it's just so powerful to me.
Yep, totally. All right. So we all have a divine masculine energy. We all have a divine feminine energy, regardless of our gender. Divine masculine energy, think of that like electricity, or I'd use the term seed before. Think of that as the seed, like literally the planting of something, that drive. And when I say electricity, like it needs wire, it needs a structure to be able to flow through. So this is the drive. This is how am I going to do things? And then there is the divine feminine. So divine feminine energy is the energy of magnetism. It does not have as much of a flow. And the reason I'm talking about divine feminine and divine masculine right now is because this place, this chakra is very much, it's the second one. So it is a feminine chakra. But think of being in the womb. That's a little dark place, right? It's not as much filled with light. So yes, we're coming as a soul and we're entering into the body here. And now step back with me and think of how life is formed. So not just as the soul, but think of perhaps the first time, Big Bang Theory, when life really started. So that spark that happened in that dark space called void. Void is this infinite space where everything happens. So it's the birth space for the Big Bang Theory. So for our universe, it's the birth space for all the other universes. It's that space. When we are in the womb, we're connected to that magical space of the void. This is our connection there. So not just our life right now, but it's connected to, let's say, the womb of the universe, or the womb of the universes, so to speak. It's that birthplace. So it is so powerful, this space, and just healing this space. Because when you connect here, literally anything is possible. And you talk about creativity, like this place creates universes.
I love that.
Let alone the ideas that you want to bring into this world, however mind-blowing they might feel to you, or so far beyond they might feel to you. Maybe you want to have an exhibition around something and you have no idea how. Maybe you want to write a book, or you want to go into another field and set up another business. It could be very far out, but all that creativity, all that life for everything, that is the sacral chakra. This is where you connected with that divine force that powers up all the universes. It's connected. So when I say void, it's like literally the birthplace of everything.
That's a
And
beautiful
that's where
way to think of it. I love that because it's almost like we're like a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? We're like a small, yeah. So I love that concept. So good. Why is activating the sacral chakra the key to emotional release and creative flow? I know I had spoken to someone else on the show once before who had said that emotions can get trapped in our bodies. And if we don't release those emotions when they come up, they stay inside of us and then they can cause issues and even diseases. So it's so important to really express our feelings. And so many of us don't do that because of various traumas, etc. And so I would love for you to speak on that.
Yeah, totally. So you're very right. Like this chakra is very much around emotions and emotions getting blocked. This is where that happens. So before I talk about this, let me talk about the root chakra just to be able to explain this, right? Root chakra is the foundation. Root chakra, think of that as the earth, the soil. This is where we are coming, like literally you come out of the root chakra. This is our sense of identity. But think of that if you look at your life as a plant or a tree. The plant grows into a tree and you think of yourself as that, then this is root chakra is that soil where we are born. The sacral chakra is the birthing space. So like the seeds come, it's the soil holding it all together. This is where the water is being poured. So all the nourishing, all that all that stuff is happening in the sacral chakra. All the recipe for the birth, for the plant to sprout up, all that is happening here, right? The root chakra, meaning coming on earth, that's very much around identity. It's very much around who am I? And then the second chakra becomes around emotions, but it comes around, do I love myself? So in the root chakra, what we're trying to do as a body, and we're trying to learn, is I'm trying to understand how do I fit in the world? What am I contributing? Who am I? Right? Those questions, I'm answering those. And then in that one, we are starting to understand, oh, okay, if I do this, maybe my parents get happy. The things where my parents get unhappy, we're starting to understand that. The second chakra is very much around loving ourselves. Okay. Very much around accepting, understanding ourselves. So before the world can give it to us, all the chakras are there. Everything is about us, right? So this one is teaching us how to love ourselves. So this is why when the emotions come in, let's say if somebody said something and I got triggered, first of all, for that trigger to happen, it had to trigger me inside. Let's say somebody said that, Kanika, you are not an energy coach. I think you are a car. Or they said, I think you're a bus. And I would just laugh at them because I have no match with it. I'm going like, I don't know, weird comment, but it would not trigger me. And if somebody said something like something to hurt me, means I have a tiny resonance or more resonance inside me. So if I feel unlovable, there is a part of me which feels like, oh, there might be a part that's unlovable in me. Hence, just dealing with the emotions here, it's more about loving ourselves first, accepting ourselves first. And I'll just quickly give a definition around love as well, because the way love is for a lot of us in the world, I think it's done wrong. Like love is a conditional thing. For example, love is you have a certain job, I love you. You have a car, you are rich, I love you. Could be, right? You do certain things, you act a certain way, I love you. You don't do certain things, I don't love you. This is not love. This is conditional love. Unconditional love is where it comes without those ties to it. Now, to give perfect examples, perhaps consider the earth. And earth in the sense that we get up, we never wonder that the earth's not going to be there below us. Earth's always there. We don't think, oh, how am I going to get food or how am I going to get water and so on. Earth will always provide that. If there is a blockage or something, that is done by mankind, but the earth's always done the job. Like unconditionally, it does not matter who you are in a relationship with it, what cause you are talking about, what you are not doing, whether you've even gotten out of bed. Earth always loves you. So that is unconditional love. Second chakra, sacral chakra, or your sexuality emotions. first of all, at the basis of it, to heal yourself, that's the place that you've got to come to, just unconditionally loving yourselves. We all have places, a lot of times, that's what I see with my clients, where we are like questioning our bodies, we're questioning the body shape, we are questioning, I haven't done this right, we're not talking to ourselves right, we're criticizing ourselves, we're going, I could do this faster, I could do it like this, and so on. So loving yourself is like looking at every single part of you and being able to go, I love you. And I'll leave it one more tip here as well, because a lot of times this is also coming where we start feeling like I'm not perfect. Somehow there's something wrong that I'm not perfect. And it's not true. You are perfect. We don't always know the bigger story. I've worked with enough clients, but we don't always know the bigger story. Let me give an example. Now, Steve Jobs, for example, he was a dyslexic. In a way, that was imperfection that he was dyslexic, right? There was a label that humanity or people would have put on that, and somewhere he did not fit in the world. Now, the bigger picture of that is that he's worked and he gave us simpler computers and he gave us much simpler phones. He's actually changed the music industry a lot. There is goodness that his perceived weakness brought out in the world. So it wasn't imperfection. Similarly, the parts of us that we think are imperfect, they're created by that same divine spark that created everything else. And if that's divine, you're coming from that divine part, you're absolutely effing perfect as you are. Even if you feel like you're not perfect, I guarantee you, you are perfect. With all your weaknesses, with all your odd stuff, you are perfect. So we've got to just love ourselves and accept ourselves and be okay. And the place where you feel like you have the weakness, often that is going to be your point of growth, your point of healing, and your gift to the world.
I love that it's your gift to the world. And I often talk to coaches and to people who have come to where they are in their life right now, helping people and being a gift to the world because of difficulties that they've had in their life. And I know that's the case with you. Do you want to just tell a little bit of your backstory and what got you into this sort of healing journey for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I am an engineer by background. I've done an MBA, so very black and white by background. Energy, healing, or anything was just so far beyond me. Everything was barely measured. And my life, as a lot of other people, there was a time where it was going through and it was not really enjoyable. I did talk with my friends then. I talked with other people that I thought could understand. And it was like the 35s crisis, and people didn't know there was a label to it. And it was almost as if you get older or you work through life and there's supposed to be like happiness and life growth. They don't go hand in hand. It's like you get older and you're not supposed to be as happy as kids. That's what I was working through. So I was already unhappy, but I was really trying to work through it. I was also pregnant at the time, which is why Sacral Chakra womb healing is just, and you'll know in a bit, this is why this is just such a passionate topic for me to share with the world. And that time I was pregnant with my daughter. I was really depressed. That was a difficult pregnancy. Not medically, everything was okay. Emotionally, all the blockages that we're just talking about, they were all there. And one morning I woke up and my daughter was not there. So I'd lost her. I'd lost her when I was pregnant with her at 31 weeks. And that meant giving birth to her. That meant doing all the things and not having a screaming, crying baby at the end, but just a sleeping baby. But there were a couple of things, lots of things that happened at that time as I was trying to process the whole thing. One of the biggest things that she did for me, and again, this seems very wrong on a life term, right? It feels like such a terrible tragedy. Like, why would anyone go through that? And yet, as I healed, because I really wanted to connect with her, I had so much grief, so much shame, so much guilt around that time because I was supposed to give birth to her and I failed my job as a mom. So I had so much guilt there. So the healing journey in terms of connecting with her is that whole process around connecting with energy, understanding what everything is about. But the driving force really was wanting to connect with her. And for the first time, I started realizing that there has to be something bigger than just us and life as we perceive. And more, it started happening. Like I would write to my daughter when I was feeling very sad. And sometimes I would be able to be in a good space and I would go, hey, I wish you the best. And then there were so many other times where I would just be crying, writing those letters because I had no other way to share what I was going through. And I would say, this is the most terrible thing that's happened. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to smile again. All those things. I would start from such a heavy place. But there was never one time where I would end the letter with a heavy place. Over and over again, it was as if something else would guide me. Something else would almost just hold me. And I would always end it with, it's okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. So there was this innate understanding that there's a bigger thing that's driving our lives. And there's a lot more. I'm supported, that I'm held, even as hard as it seems. And the beautiful thing is, as I kept working through this in my own energy healing journey, I realized that my daughter's passing was a gift as well. It sounds like, how is that possible? But she and I had an agreement before I came on earth. I had told her that if I am wasting this lifetime, as in if I'm not happy, if I'm not really going upwards in this life, if I'm not doing my purpose, then please kick me, make me wake up. And she tried. She tried giving me subtle signs. She tried going, hey, you're feeling unhappy. I couldn't understand. She tried giving me other signs. I just was not ready for it. So she had to do something which was drastic. And this was that way in which she definitely had my attention. And I really needed to connect with her and hence go on this whole path of energy healing. As hard as it was in the physical experience, there was such a big reason to it. And my life before and after is like dark and light because that's how dark and depressed I felt. And now this is how much light I feel that I want to share this with the world. And I want to give everybody like, hey, you're all supported. You're all loved. Even if you feel that it's not true. Is right where we feel like we are lacking in life, right where we feel, oh my God, life's not working out for me. Even for the people where you have relationships with them and you feel like this is not working out, I'm really getting a raw deal here. I am inviting you to just ask one time, what is it that you are learning? They can be absolutely wrong people. You can hold all the grudges against them. That's okay. I'm just asking you, what are you supposed to learn? What is it that they're supposed to teach you? And just ask, is there something that you could clear out? Because that's the way of clearing your emotional blocks. Like, is there something else that you can do? Not expecting from another person, but just expecting from yourself. Is there something else that you can be totally in flow with, that you can go, okay, I'm not going to have expectations around this, or I'm just going to clear this stuff. I am not going to expect that they make me feel happy. Can you do something like that helps your life? Because that is where the light wants to enter you.
I love your perspective on this really tragic experience that you had in your life. And so many people do experience miscarriages, and they can be extremely traumatizing. And the way that you were able to turn it around and see it as a positive for you, like she was telling you something, right? Her little soul was kicking and you couldn't hear her. And so this was the way that she was able to help you to turn your life around so that you could have a joyful life. And that's so beautiful. I just really appreciate you sharing that story. And you talked about emotions and self-love before, and that was lacking in your life before. And now you're filled with self-love. And I love that this space in our bodies, this sacral chakra, is the birth of the self-love, because emotions are emotions. We have all sorts of emotions, right? But love is such a powerful emotion. And if you're not experiencing love in your life, you're really missing out. And if you don't have love for yourself, you're missing the point of life. So I love that story so much. It's such a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing it. I want to talk about energy imbalances. And how do those imbalances in our energy flow look like in the sacral chakra? And I mentioned before we got on camera about how I had spoken to Leslie Draffin, which I will link to in the show notes, another show that I did with Leslie. And she talked about having blockages in her sacral chakra. And when she did womb healing, she actually heard voices of a perpetrator that came back to her during the moment that she was doing this womb healing. And she was able to release those blockages. And that scared me so much because I was like, oh my gosh, who would I hear? There's just trauma going on down there. I know that I've had a lot of trauma because I come from a history of sexual abuse. And so that was scary to me. But actually this weekend, I'm doing an ayahuasca journey. I'm really excited about it. And my intention is womb healing. So I would love to hear what you have to say about energy imbalances and what that looks like in the sacral chakra.
Love that. And I love your vulnerability as well around sharing your story, your background, and then, taking the stage on that and actually sharing just that more and more out with the world. So I think, first of all, power to you. Great stuff. And we need more people like you.
Thank you.
Now, energy healings in the sacral chakra, particularly. If you feel like you're blocked with speaking, sharing your inner stuff, that first begins in the sacral chakra. Of course, that's a sign around the throat chakra as well. But energy, especially your connection with the earth, right? Like we are all living on earth. That is flowing from the earth below and then up. So its first is in the sacral chakra. You're able to, and that could be both ways. It could be whether you are shutting off, you're not sharing stuff. It could be when you just get too emotional, you just lash out, or you just run away from stuff. Like some conversation happens, you're like, I need to go take a walk. Those things. If somebody else is being emotional and you cannot be in their presence, that's a sign as well. If all those things are triggers for you. And then around sex, because it's related with sex. This is the center for sexuality, and sex is how you create life as well. So it's that creative force as well. But let's just talk around sex and how those imbalances can show there. If you're wanting a lot of sex, or if you're not wanting sex at all, if that does not feel comfortable to you, that's a sacral chakra imbalance. If you cannot be as open, as vulnerable in sex, like if it's not as connected an experience for you, then that can be a sacral chakra imbalance. And watch out for little things. Like sometimes people, when they need to say something, they'll go, okay, let's just have sex. I can't use words, but I can just do sex. So there's an either or, right? Whether if you need to have sex and somebody's or your partner's asking for sex and you're like, okay, let's just talk, or I want to do this. Like if there's a part of you that is either running away from sex or talking about your innermost emotions, not like what's the weather like, what's the food like, not those mundane stuff, but like really deeper stuff. How do you really feel deep inside? If that you can't talk about, that's an imbalance. This is also the place of creativity. Creativity would mean not babies, not just babies, but that's your birthing of ideas, projects. Are you excited? Is there something that you want to do? Or even if you have like 10,000 things that you want to do, but you never do them, that means like there's something happening with the life force here because you don't have enough of a drive to take that forward. It begins in the sacral chakra. So if you're not feeling like creating, if you are not, and I'll give you examples of creating. Creating does not have to be that you have to go far out and you have to create a painting, you have to write a book, you have to write a poem. It does not always mean that. It could be simple things like drawing, writing. It could be some place where you take an idea and you do something with it, right? Consuming is passive. Watching TV, scrolling through Instagram would be passive because you're consuming stuff. Creating is where you are letting your ideas out, anything that you've thought of. It does not even have to be public. You don't have to publish it. But are things coming out when you are creating? That could be cooking. That could be even making up some stories. That could be like, do you feel like singing? Do you have joy? This place is called Life Force. So do you just have the fun of life in you? Even if you're not creating like that, like when you go out, are you laughing? Is life inviting to you? So those would give you signs of whether your sacral chakra is imbalanced or not. Because if you're not feeling that, if something's an off, then there's an imbalance somewhere.
And I love that you brought up sexual energy. So I just want to know how you perceive how sexual energy becomes the fuel for manifestation and joy. And of course, having an orgasm is joyful, right? We all love the pleasure of that. But when you are having an amazing sex life, it does help you to have a happier life. You're more joyful. That releases so many neurochemicals in your body that make you feel good. So I would love your take on that.
Yeah, thank you. So this place is around magnetism, and we go back to the beginning of our episode where we talked about this is how this place is connected with the divine feminine. This is the feminine chakra, so it is connected with the divine feminine energy in that sense, like with our own life force energy, which is magnetizing also means multiplying. Whatever you want to do, it just like really brings that force out. Think of it this way. This is where like sex happens and the baby gets conceived. Like it's a miraculous thing. There's a sperm, there's an egg, and a baby comes out of it. I know it happens a lot on Earth, yes, but it's still a miracle that that a baby gets formed. So whatever energy you have here, like it has a magnetizing potential. This whole place where it can just come to birth and come to life, everything starts from here. And this is also the energy of the void. So the more balanced you are, the more you connect with the void, the more you're connecting with the birthplace of the entire universe, the more you're really tapping into this infinite potential, which powers all the universes. So like you were super powered up here. So this is that place. Now, I think people would love to hear around manifesting and how they can use the space for manifesting as well. Especially if you're beginning your journey around self-love, because that is where all the healing starts, right? Like before you go and look at someone else to love you, start with that place yourself, and sexual experience would be one place to do that as well. So of course, it's all the affirmations, it's telling yourself all the good stuff, telling yourself that I love myself, I accept myself, looking at your body and saying that to yourself. However, you can bring that sense of worth, that sense of acceptance to yourself, do that. But also, before you go out and try and have a relationship with someone, have a relationship with yourself. Explore yourself, love yourself, and bring that joy to yourself. Make it a normal experience for yourself to feel loved, to feel joy in the body. Because that you want to reset your internal system, your nervous system. You really want to rewire all the brain chemicals, all the nerve systems. You want to rewire that to at least that sense of peace and joy for yourself. Because then when you do it with someone else, you're already coming from that healed, good place. Of course, you can work, both things side by side, but this is a very important thing that you just really, truly, fully love yourself as much as you can. Start there. Now, in terms of manifesting with the sacral chakras, you can, if you could hold that intention while in bed, while performing really intimate activity, either with your partner or by yourself, that is powerful. That is why a lot of people will teach that tantric sex. There's a lot of coaches who teach particularly manifestation with the sacral chakra. This is why it's that powerful, because this is that force that creates life. So if you're holding your idea and you're saying, this is what I want to bring into life, let's say it's a new business, you want to bring that to life, like really get comfortable with your body. And one way to do that would be like getting comfortable with it sexually. As funny as that sounds, but that is just allowing your body to feel in flow with it, letting go of that resistance there. And that's just a joyful experience, almost meditative, because you're thinking of an intention and you're releasing your resistance around that. So you're coming more into flow with your idea that it can actually birth into life.
I love that. I love the concept of manifesting while you are actually sexually active. Yeah, that is something that I can't say that I've ever tried. I can't ever think that I'm manifesting while I'm having sex, but that's such a cool concept. And I think that is what Tantra is all about, right? And so it's something that I definitely have a lot of interest in. I just need to find the right partner to want to practice Tantra with me. But I think you can really do it with any partner, right? It's really what you're thinking about in your mind.
But you don't have to start with someone else. And also holding that energy with someone else might get harder because you're trying to sync your bodies together. You're trying to have a good experience and then also hold it. It could be a little bit difficult. Couples really need to, I believe, be a little bit more in sync so that intention can be held. So start by just doing that for yourself.
I love
holding that space for yourself.
Absolutely. With masturbation, I guess is what you're talking about, right? And then using the intention during that time. I think that's such a beautiful idea. So thank you for giving it to me because I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be practicing that. And people out there listening, give it a try. Give it a try if you have a great idea that you want to manifest or a business, or if you're trying to heal from something. Like I'm talking about healing for myself, and all of those things you can manifest by using the sacral chakra. And that's so beautiful.
I was just saying, around that time, you're very happy. That's the easiest for you actually to let go of your resistance because you're just enjoying your body as such. So it's a great place. And it's the energy is very inviting to be able to bring in all the good things as well for yourself. Yeah, so totally. It does not always have to be serious, the healing part. It doesn't have to be serious. Healing is actually more coming into your childlike form, not childish, childlike form, where you are more in joy with life, where you're more happy about life. So it actually does not have to be serious. It should be a lot more fun. It should be more
playful.
Yes, totally.
I love to consider the bedroom as our adult playground. So that is completely in line with my way of thinking as well.
I love ravioli.
Oh, tanta fame.
Since when do you speak Italian?
Since we partnered with SAP Concur. Their integrated travel and expense platform and breakthrough solutions with AI gave me time back to dive into our financial future. We expand into Europe in 2027, so I'm getting ready.
Well, you can predict the future?
I can predict you'll like that message.
What message? Whoa, hey, we all got bonuses.
You can save for college now.
I don't have kids.
You don't say.
SAP Concur helps your business move forward faster. Learn more at concur.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Everything is more exhilarating when you're on your motorcycle, just like your bike is more protected when you choose Progressive Motorcycle Insurance. They offer coverage for your bike, starting as low as $75 per year. And they keep things affordable, with discounts like paid in full, multi-policy, and responsible driver. So raise your kickstands and get to quoting at Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. $75 premium is for state minimum coverage. Not available in D.C. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hey all, I'm Jamie Lynn Sigler, a mom, actor, and advocate. I know how overwhelming it can be trying to decide which treatment is right for you. I've been there. But you should know you're not alone. You can do this. Start with some research, talk to the community, and most importantly, don't be afraid to ask your doctor questions. You might find results that speak for themselves. That's how I landed on Kesimpta. Ask your doctor if Kesimpta, ofatumumab, could be right for you. You can check out the details at kesimpta.com.
And now we're going to get into our role play, and I'm so excited. And she's going to be coaching me, and I'm going to be coming to her because I am trying to heal. With that said, you'll get to the whole idea once we start talking. Okay, and action. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and I wanted to talk to you about healing my womb because I feel like I have a lot of trauma there, even though I feel like I've done a lot of work on myself in terms of healing from my trauma. I still feel like there's still trauma there, and I really want to heal my womb and feel like it's completely healed, and I can just create a blank slate so that my life can move forward in a positive direction. Is that something that you could help me with?
Oh, yeah, totally. And I just wanted to say that I think this is something that's very common. Like everybody, most females will have some sort of trauma. Actually, even men. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of generational story that we can carry in our womb. We are all born. So even if we are men, we are carrying that. There are studies now that show that we can carry at least 3 generations of traumas, even if you don't know them, even if you've never met them. So there was a study done around Holocaust survivors, and that's how they found that out. Very famous study. So that's one thing, because in our womb, it's us coming to life. And physically, we think, yes, okay, there's a baby that gets formed from the egg and from the sperm, and the baby gets formed. If you think of it from an energetic perspective, there's energy being donated so that the human life can come to form. Now, this energy comes from your mom's side, obviously comes from your dad's side. It's coming from the ancestral side as well, because they're your ancestors who really want you to come on earth. And by the way, this also helps understand that even if there are bits where you feel like, something's wrong with you, that you don't fit in, your ancestors have donated energy to you. So even if you feel like you're a misfit, you're a total fit because they got you here for a purpose. They specifically gave you energy for a purpose. So you're carrying your ancestral energy within you. Now, ancestors, your own family, you yourself could have had a lot of sexual trauma. You could have had, for example, some abortions, some miscarriages, some other stuff around loving, around being forced sometimes, whatever those stories are. The thing that I'm getting to is that womb healing is, I wish what you're doing, everybody was as brave to try it. It does not have to be that hard, but I wish everybody was so brave enough to just look at that, because there's a lot of potential once you start healing it. And then we are carrying energy in the womb through our past lives as well, because we're carrying those imprints within us. We're also carrying energy from our childhood experiences or our teenager experiences, maybe even our growing up experiences, and all that gets stored in the womb. So here's what we'll do. We'll start with a simple exercise that everybody can start doing today. So all the space in the sacral chakra, that just holds all these emotions, all that hurt, all the stuff that you could not say. So imagine there's like a big container, almost like a big water tank. And I just want you to take time and just look at your tank. Just look at it inside and look at all the water inside. And what sort of water do you see?
It's murky.
Yep, it usually is. It usually is. And that's okay. You don't have to feel bad about it. You can have a look. Maybe it even feels smelly, and that's all right. And so this is all the stuff that we are carrying. We don't need to remember who this was from and so on, but this is just murky, right? And you don't want that in your space. So just take it and just spill it over. Just turn it. And tell me, does it feel heavy or is it feeling okay? Is it like a small container or a big container? Are you feeling okay tipping it over?
It's very heavy, but I do the concept of visualizing spilling it out and not having to hold it. Why am I carrying all of that? I just want to dump it all. I just want to spill over the whole bucket. Yes.
Yeah. And so if you want help, you could just ask Mother Earth as well. You could just say that, hey, I don't like this anymore. I don't like this water anymore. And you can just ask her to poke holes in this big container. And so all the water just starts draining through. Just wait till it all drains. Just let all the water go out. Let me know when you feel that's done.
Yes.
Beautiful. And now what you can do is even this container, like this is an older container. If the container doesn't look great as well, I'm seeing a blackish container. So if you don't like it, there's a sacred holy flame right in front of you. And this holy flame is the cleansing flame, right? It takes all that old energy away that you don't want. So just pick the container up and just put that in the flame. Just give it to the flame if you want it away from you.
Yes.
And just send it away. You can even say that I'm sending all this darkness away. I'm sending everything away.
All the darkness away.
I'm sending away everything that does not suit me.
I'm sending away everything that does not suit me.
Great. And now just allow your womb space to be filled again. You'll notice there'll be another water container that comes. Maybe you notice that as a pond. Maybe that even shows up as a fountain. But there'll be another water body that'll come up in your sacral chakra. And just tell me, what do you feel? How does it come to you?
It feels refreshing.
And so just allow the earth to bring in this water, and the earth's going to bring in really pure water. And then we're going to ask the sun above us. So there's a sun sending beautiful gold and bright light into your sacral chakra. And just really clearing every single water particle and actually infusing every single molecule, every little atom with this high vibration gold energy, your life force, this joy of life, creativity, bringing you into your stardom. Just allow that to come in. Just allow all that gold goodness to come in and just pour into your sacral chakra. Just around your belly button, you could just put your hands there. Just feel that with you. Just take a nice deep breath. Nothing you have to do. Just nice deep breath. Just relax. Just enjoy. Just welcoming that I welcome this divine energy in me.
Beautiful.
Great. So that's like a lovely teaser into the womb healing.
I love that. And scene. I could go on and on, but that was so beautiful. And I hope that people listening also participated in that, because I think it was a beautiful thing to do for yourself. You could have pretended that you were me, and one step in that direction towards healing yourself in that area. So thank you so much, Kanika, for being on the show. I want to make sure that my listeners can find you. Where can we find you?
Okay, beautiful. So my website is artoflifecenter.com, which is art of life center, center.com. Thanks for bringing it up on the screen for those who are watching. So that's where you can find me. I have a ton of free goodies out there as well. Like I have some free meditations as well for people that they can enjoy. And reach out to me. I love any questions. If you want to find me on Insta, LinkedIn, or YouTube, then I can be found at Kanika Energy Coach. So Kanika is Kanika, Energy Coach. So I think you'll include that again, and that's my name that's popping up on the screen as well right now. So if you just do at Kanika Energy Coach, you should be able to find me. And I love all your questions, anything that you want to work with. My favorite thing to work with is womb healing, is this birth space, is energy around abortions, around miscarriages, especially all the sexual trauma and stuff, because it just creates so much space for magic and miracles to unfold. So I would love to hold that space for you.
Beautiful. And if you want to reach out to Kanika, we will definitely include all of her information in the show notes. And as always, you can find me at Please Me It Out online. And I have lots of information on that site. I really appreciate all of your support. And again, if you loved this episode as much as I loved experiencing it myself, please copy and paste it and share it with someone right now that you love and that you think would really benefit from listening to it. Make sure that you always leave reviews when you listen to my show. That is how podcasts grow. And again, please vote for me. I appreciate all of your support. Again, Kanika, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been such a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much, Eve. This was such a pleasure as well.
Thank you so much. Until next time, for ad-free listening, exclusive bonus episodes, Eve's library of archived webinars, and early access to new releases of Please Me, become a monthly supporter on Patreon. Simply open the Patreon app on your phone, search for Please Me, and subscribe today for premium content and more. Cheers to finding your pleasure and big clit energy.